Thank you for joining us today in another episode of Secure Your Wealth. Today, I'll be giving us information that has to do with being careful and being observant, especially for those of us that are driving. We all know that part of our road network in this part of this world are not completely tarred. Some are bad, or at times when we are driving, we also still experience congestion, meaning traffic while driving. So life is more about continuous learning, and that's why I deem it important to share with us this valuable experience that I gathered from a victim yesterday. This same man was, going home from from work, and while he was driving, he got to a junction where the road was not well tarred, and of course vehicles has to move at a very slow pace. But to his greatest surprise, he was somehow tricked. Why? Because there are some hoodlums, thieves, that litter themselves, taking advantage of the bad road. They litter themselves around the road network, and what they do basically is to observe, especially private cars that are driving alone, meaning for those that are driving alone without having any passenger beside you. It's very, very important to be watchful and observant. This man was going home yesterday from work, and somehow he was driving at a very slow pace because of the bad road, not knowing that there was a young man by his right who claimed to be controlling vehicles so that vehicles will move at a steady pace. But the man banged the door by the right side of the driver, and he did that on purpose. Why? Because he actually want to gain the attention of the driver so that his second partner, who is an additional thief, is at the left hand side. So he banged the door, and the driver yelled that why will he do that for. Of course, he responded that he wanted him to move steadily, he wanted him to move fast, and besides, the man was not putting on his seatbelt, blah blah blah. But because that man was actually angry, he concentrated his whole attention on the man, and without taking much time, they started arguing, not knowing that there's a second thief at the left hand side. Due to the fact that the window door was wind down, that man had to dip his hand through the window and picked the man's phone and wallet before the man will realize that someone was actually operating at his left hand side. Both of them ran away, so he had to pull over to check what was actually missing, and from there he realized that both phone and wallet were gone. So of course he was devastated. Nobody to help him, and of course he cannot just park his vehicle and started running after those thief. Of course you cannot even get them. But the most painful aspect of it is, apart from the fact that they took the man's phone and wallet, at the end of the day the man came and said they even used his phone through his account to borrow loan, meaning that he lost both the phone, he lost the wallet, and actually the man's account was somehow hacked, such that it was they were able to borrow loan from the man's account. So that is a very great lesson, especially for those that are driving, and when you are alone, please always ensure to wind up your glass, because you never can tell. They will plan themselves, they will come in one way or the other just to distract you, and you lose focus. And if you fall under that same prank, then of course they are going to have their way. So always ensure that when anytime you are driving and there seems to be one form of distraction, please be very, very alert. Another point is, at any point when we go through this kind of scenario where our phone or whatever is taken away, let's try as much as possible to get across to the bank contact center, because if that man had actually done that earlier on, of course the phone or the account will not probably be used. even to borrow loan. Let's report and ensure that we get the right means through which we can block our account and ensure that we remain observant and focused while driving. Thank you for watching. Secure your phone, secure your wealth.